On May 21st, 2014, Troy, Ohio at around 4:30 received a very unexpected rainfall. But this was not like any rainfall the Miami Valley had ever seen before. In just a matter of minutes, roads had standing water, dry spots were submerged into swimming pools, and multiple buildings and establishments had water coming in and not going out. Receiving 4 to 5 inches of rain, Troy was in for a very wild night. This is Market and West Market right now. As you can see, it is a river right in front of my apartment. And then if we go over here, all the way down to almost Valero is water. After dark, when most of the rainfall had ceased, I grabbed my camera and went around to multiple areas in Troy to document what exactly had happened and what the results were. First stop was right outside of TV5 on Staunton Road. The road itself was submerged in what was probably 3 inches of water standing. An unusual amount of water on the road, city officials decided to close the road, but that did not stop local pedestrians from trying to get through it. It was discovered the next day that so much water had been on the road had partially caved in, causing a gas pipe to begin leaking. Deciding to get my hands dirty, I removed my shoes and actually walked onto Staunton Road over into the senior lot to get a closer look at all the damage the flooding might have caused. Feeding over from Staunton was the Troy High School senior parking lot, which was also submerged in water as well. Multiple cars were left in the lot overnight, however, to our knowledge, none took any damage. Upon entering the lot, I found it exactly as Staunton, submerged in about 3 inches of water past my ankles. Luckily, as I entered the lot, Bill Redfern, a Troy High School regular and friend to everyone at the school, told me that the stadium had also taken a pretty bad hit from the rain as well. Climbing into Bill's gator, he drove me inside the stadium, and what I saw I could not believe. A mat used for track's high jump was actually taken so much water that it had been pushed to the fence. Standing water was all throughout the stadium, as well as all around. Hopping on Bill's gator, he once again took me around the stadium as well as Hobart to see where all the water was standing and where most of the flooding was the worst. After finishing the stadium, I'd recently heard that Walmart itself was also in very deep trouble with the water, so I decided to drive down there and see what the results looked like. Upon arriving, I immediately saw more standing water, except this time it was almost up to some of the car's windows that were stuck in parking. Walking through Walmart's parking lot, there was such a rush of water all about in many different directions, creating an almost creek-like waves through the parking lot. In fact, this water was moving so fast that it almost knocked me off my feet a couple times as I was walking through the lot. I was informed over time that a lot of water had receded, however, there were still massive amounts of water throughout the parking lot from the market side all the way down to the pharmacy side. Making my way through the parking lot, I walked around to the side where Staples and Outback was, and to my surprise, there was an even deeper section of water standing there. About 50 feet away from Outback Steakhouse, an almost river like puddle was formed, going past my knees in standing water. This portion was so deep, in fact, that I drove my Jeep previously through this, and my Jeep started taking water at a point. Luckily, it kept going. After Walmart, I decided to head on down the road and check out any of the residential areas. Passing Wood Ridge Road, I could see that the entire neighborhood was submerged in water, going about 200 feet back into the area. Coming to the overpass, I was able to see 75 and the traffic jam that had formed due to all the flooding. Most semi drivers at this point had either pulled off or were taking it easy, waiting for this traffic jam to subside. Rerouting was also taking place for the semis, however, only so many could go at a time. Making my way on the back roads, I came to Swales, which to my surprise had a road closed sign. Just as I pulled up, a car decided to pass me and decided to try and attempt to cross the road, until halfway it saw that a car was submerged at the very end and stuck. Continuing down the road, I came upon Marymount as well as Peters Road, which was entirely not possible to get across due to the rushing water and deep rushing water that was sweeping across the road. In fact, there was so much standing water it would have been easier to swim across at this point. Miami Shores Golf Course was no exception, being flooded so bad that there was no sign of a golf course anywhere to be seen. Hearing that 25A was possibly closed, I made my way down the road, stopping off at the golf range to also, surprisingly, submerged in water. However, there was so much water this time that it almost came up to the parking lot of the range, which normally does not happen. 25A was in fact closed due to several cars being stuck all throughout the road. Making my way up as possibly close as I could get, I saw all the rushing water that was sweeping on just the ends, imagining what the middle probably looked like. So much rushing water was present, in fact, that it almost felt like being on a beach and the sound of the waves hitting the sides of the roads. If there was one thing I was entirely sure of this entire night, it was that Troy had never seen a rainfall like this before, and was definitely not ready for one. But with a strong community of family and friends, we were able to make it through and continue on to the next day.